So let's, by the way, it's Monday evening. I just got home from the gym. And so I probably should go make some stinky salad. I got tonight and tomorrow left of salad, and that's it. Then I got my next program all figured out. So this is Kamikaze detailing tape, which is really, really good. Pretty expensive, but really good. We used it on Tim's Silverstone. It does really well for this stuff. I'm also psyched to use my door stoppers from Kamikaze. I'll show you those in a few. So we'll break that so that we can open the door when we need to. You know, taping doesn't have to be sort of precision work, but this stuff does make it a lot easier to make it more precise. And you mainly want to do this, one, to protect the trim, but you know, I found the trim will survive. It's mainly to not pick up all kinds of crap that, you know, rubber bits and whatever dirt is in here, and then sort of grind it into the paint when you're polishing. And that's the main purpose of doing this, to keep, you know, Kevin Brown's sort of coined term, control under control. And if you don't tape off the rubber, you'll have issues with too much residue in the pad. Dude, I feel it was worth going to the esoteric school. You know, going to Todd's, you know, up to Todd's school at Esoteric, paying the $1,500 to go just because of this tape. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do for finishing, for polishing this thing. We're going to test a couple of spots, probably tomorrow night. So let me tape off the lights right here on this edge. Make sure I don't hit it with the edge. I'll probably end up using the nano on this little lip here. I won't have to worry about this because I'll just lift the trunk. So the trim, I'm going to tape that off with the green tape. I don't think this is really big enough to do anything. I do have to adjust this spot right here. If you didn't watch the previous video, you wouldn't have seen me disappointed that they put holes in this emblem, so I can't debadge it. It's a weird little thing sticking up here. Little body molding tape. Let's see if I can get that off without messing it up. So rather than this snapping in place, there's a little bit of molding tape that holds this on. Maybe I should come at it from this angle. I don't know if that's actually working. It's like balling up and falling out. You know, it's just some 3M adhesive tape that was just cut a little bit too long. Anyway, I'm pressing my luck here today. Plus I'm starving. So we'll come back out tomorrow and do another hour or so of work. Maybe I'll come out here when the kids are sleeping. All right, guys, I got the whole thing sort of taped up. I'm ready to start polishing. I've already tested a couple of spots. Sorry, I got lazy on you earlier about sort of testing what polish needs to be done. So I already did the trunk. I didn't do I figured I'd save the scratched up spots for you guys, but I already did the trunk lid, the rear bumper, and one of the fenders. But we're going to come out front and sort of work on some polishing. So I got my LHR 15 2. I put the washer mod back in it. I got to get some more washer bronze. I need to call Kevin Brown and get some. I keep saying I'm going to go to Home Depot and buy them, but I'm not going to. And then the LHR 75. Sorry to Troy Sowers the other day. He's like, yeah, I need to get an LHR 75, and I was like, yeah, I never used that thing. Well, I thought he was talking about the Duetto. This is the Mini. And then the awesome hybrid, which I have the random orbital head on it. I'm using Rupes yellow pads. Tested white versus yellow, and I didn't really see much of a difference. So if I have the choice, I like the yellows. They're a little bit stiffer, a little easier to use. But again, the paint, there's not a swirl or scratch other than on this one fender, which I'll get out here in a minute, which will take 2 seconds to get out, just a little minor scratch. I mean, I've looked this thing up and down. Plus, I'm checking every panel as I go through it. But I have about an hour before I have Mike, one of our Obsessed Garage doctors. We're finishing up his financial plan and his investment plan. So I have him at 8:30 tonight, and it's like 7 o'clock now. So I have an hour to sort of knock out some polishing. So I'll kind of show you guys what's up. When the paint is pretty dialed in, I don't have a gloss meter. I'd love to have that thing, the thing that Todd has, from Esoteric. I almost bought it, but I just can't justify, spending $4 grand on that thing just to sort of tell if I'm getting a bit more gloss or not. So the difference between 4,000 and Perfect Finish, I mean, I couldn't see a difference. So I like how Perfect Finish sort of cleans up a little better than the Menzerna. So I'm going to use that, and I already used it on the trunk. So I cheated a little bit on you guys here earlier today. So let's get some polishing done, and I'm going to pull the table over here out front, my little ghetto table. I don't want a cart yet because I don't have anywhere to put it. And I know some of you guys would just sort of put it somewhere, but I don't want to do that. Oh man, I just went to the gym and I'm finally starting to get a few calories in me. Today is the first day of my paleo program after my very long, very painful purification program. And so today we had to run a 6K. I don't know what the heck 6K comes. 6K and 60 burpee pull-ups, which, gosh, I'm so bad at burpees. It's not even funny. Being big and inflexible at times is just not good for CrossFit. Okay, so I'll start with the center section of the hood. Let me blow out the pads. I just want to get this thing done so I can go out and drive it, but it's not going to be done until this weekend. I just don't have any time when I come home. I hate that. And make time, get this thing done. I might stay up late tonight or something. Pads already primed, still wet from earlier. I only did a couple hours ago, so we're still good. Let's just add a little extra. Okay. So I'm running Speed 4 washer modded LHR 15 Mark II with a Rupes yellow pad. Let's see if my pad flatness skills have gotten better. I mean, I'm purposely scooping here right now, but so there's 2 passes. Passes. And 4. And notice I'm applying pressure. I mean, in the middle of the hood, you got to be careful, but so you notice I'm applying a good, 20 pounds of pressure, so you can see the pad compress, and hopefully I'm straighter. Normally I tend to get a little not straight. Actually, come to think about it, I've already done like 2 panels, so it's probably time to swap the pad out. I am really happy with this color. It's going to look incredible when I get a bunch of layers of stuff on it. So good old pad trick that somebody taught me recently. Line it up with a circle in the middle. Credit to whomever that was. Sometimes the simplest things are too simple. I'm making a mess here. Let's prime this new pad. So it can't hurt to err on the side of caution when it comes to pads. Usually don't need to put much more on, put a couple of dots. So let's finish this part of the center section. So notice I'm going to need to scoop. Pretty aggressive. Pearl in the hoop, pearl in the hood. Again, so notice pressure and speed. I'm letting the thing do its job. You know, I'm not doing this business. I'm taking my time. hamstring are destroyed. So let's check our work. Tape does not stick to this trim on this thing. Again, I know a bunch of you guys are new to the channel or new to detailing. The reason why you paint or tape off the trim is so you don't end up with white polish marks on it that you can't get off. So good. There's so much metallic in this paint. Good. I mean, like I said, the paint's already in pretty decent shape. And then I'm gonna blow the residue off. I really need a better air compressor. So this is, again, the Kevin Brown method of residue control. So every time I polish, I'm removing a little bit of paint. And so the idea is I want to get as much residue out of the pad as possible to keep the pad sort of doing as much work as it possibly can. So credit Todd Cooperrider for my newfound skills at polishing. Making sure I keep the pad sort of flat or scooping it along these curved surfaces. I used to just keep it flat. So you can use the edge of the pad to get up in here. You make sure it's rotating. This is where the washer mod comes in handy. Otherwise the Rupes tends to stop moving. Come flat across it. So again, we have paint that's already in decent shape. Go away, I'm busy. Actually, paint that's in really good shape, which I'm so surprised. I thought I'd be polishing and compounding the crap out of this thing. It's probably better, I bet you Ford doesn't touch the car. They just paint it and it's done. You know, where some of the higher end manufacturers try to fix it and then what they do is mess it up. The metallic in this paint is incredible. Let me see if I can get you guys in here to see that. I'm so glad I got this over Avalanche. I needed something fun to deal with. Versus white, where I can actually see what the heck I'm doing. Okay, so I'm gonna go and do the rest of the car that way. I doubt I really need to sort of take you through every square inch of the thing. And I'll bring you guys around some of the problem areas, the side mirrors, and maybe I'll do a little bit of the roof with you. We'll have to do that sort of back plastic piece. This will be a big deal here. The rear deck spoiler, there's lots of contours and angles, and then it's really scratched up. And then of course we have this sort of black shadow line area here. No polishing the headlights. Taillights you can polish, I found, a little easier, a little better. I don't think taillights have the same UV coating that headlights have. So, I don't think you don't have to worry as much about them, but I don't like to mess with headlights, because once you break that sort of clear UV coating, then there's haze crazy. And you got to wet sand off that that coating that they come with, and it never comes back, so they never look quite the same. Gosh, I can't wait to get this done so I can go drive this thing. Anyway, I'll come back to you guys as I have more stuff to polish. So here's a good spot to use the Nano. Put a little polish on there. It's right around this lip here. The tape's not holding up so well. So again, this is the dual action head. The random orbital head. I don't normally worry about these little cracks and crevices, but since this is like the most predominant area of the entire car, I'm going to make sure it's polished out. This thing is great. I mean, unless you're detailing all the time, I mean, $550 or something like that. I mean, I know that's a lot of money. And yes, I bought this thing. No one sent it to me. I wish. So Dylan, if you ever watch these and you want to send me the short neck, I'd be happy to have it. Freaking thing. I won't need the tape much longer anyway. Screw it, it's coming off. Just gonna be careful. Again, once you get polish in these little areas, it's really hard to get out. Like in these black areas, sometimes it doesn't come off at all. Well, since I got you guys here, I might as well keep the camera on. So when you're finishing polishing like this or doing the one step, I tend to do much bigger areas than I would if I were, compounding. I'm going to be much more intentional about the spots that I tackle. Oh Lord, I'm telling you. Did 75 squats at 135 in a row in the workout. All right, so like normally if I were compounding, I would treat these sections, separately, but since I'm finishing, I'm just gonna do it all. And since this paint is, in good shape. So again, notice I'm spreading it out, with some decent speed, and then I'm slowing down and being very intentional about my speed. Keeping my pad flat, keeping some decent pressure on the pad. Again, about 20 pounds. So, a logical question with this whole sort of process right now that we're doing, since the car, really isn't in bad shape. I know some of you dum-dums who are too simple to know that you're the dumb one in the room are going to comment, why would you waste your time polishing a perfectly nice brand new car? It doesn't need polishing, you're wasting your time. Well, I'm about to put multiple layers of ammo reflex, which is a sort of synthetic coating, which I intend to sort of keep layering on the car for a long, long time. So hopefully I won't have to decontaminate. I won't have to do, you know, a lot of the extra sort of maintenance corrective steps in the future, and I can just, you know, just continue to sort of add layers of protection. So I want to make sure the paint is jeweled out and as shiny as possible, so that I can lock in that clean look, that clean finish. Part of the reason why I removed the stripes was because I don't think that even with the protection on it, even if I did get it sort of finished out, you know, some of you guys suggested using like a water polishing method, and you know, I know how to do all that stuff. I just didn't. I don't want to go that far. I don't want to have to be that delicate with it. If as soon as I put the coating on it, the thing's going to scratch. And I'm actually really, really glad that I was forced to take it off, because it looks so much cleaner to me. And I know it's sort of, it's probably 70% of the people that watch my stuff, you know, prefer it clean like I do, like this. But 30 are pretty adamant that the stripes look better. But for me, this is really my style. You know, when I say not my style a lot, well, you know, like when people say you need to get a ZL1, it's just not my style. It's not bad, it's not good, it's just not what I want. And so the stripeless car is right up my alley. Looks like Michelle's home, so maybe I should finish the hood and do the front clip later. I hate doing the front bumper. I don't really put as much time or effort. I'll use the 3-inch and the Nano to do the front bumper here. It's almost pointless down here low because you can't see it anyway. I'm just going to do it sort of just to say that I did it. Let me finish up the hood. You know, this is my second pad. I did the front. I'll change out this pad in a minute. I'll probably do another panel and a half or so before I change it out. And what I normally do is, like, after I finish this, I'll pull the tape off. Especially since I'm going to be doing ammo reflex on the car. I don't have to worry about taping things off, because I can get it on the trim if needed. I'm not going to do reflex on the trim. I'm going to stick with my good old woofs that I normally do. You know, I'm sitting here thinking, you know, it's 10 o'clock at night on a Wednesday. I'm normally on my way to bed by now. I just got off the phone with an amazing guy. You know, it's just, there's so many great people in this world that I refuse to let the other sort of crap. You know, YouTube is like a cesspool of stupidity, and you know, I have a hard time not trying to fix those people. I mean, just sort of ignore it and let it go and keep pushing forward on, you know, what I know is right, or what I think is right. And I'm just making this up anyway, so there is no right. But I just think about, you know, when I first started talking to the guy's name's Mike, and I'm sure he'll watch this, but he's sort of discouraged in that he's a doctor, he's made it through medical school, he's in residency, and the guy's he's working so hard and pushing so hard to, like, create this vision that he has for his life. You know, and it reminds me so much of what I did. And you know, I think a lot about the 2 or 3 comments. Like, I made the vlog of a sort of a day in the life of me, and you get so many comments of so many people that just, I have a tendency to take it too personally and too seriously. Like, you know, one person was talking about, well, how can you possibly be managing anybody's money when you're not sitting there watching the market all day? Well, because that's what stupid people do. That's what people do if they don't know what they're doing. It's a waste of frickin' time. You know, what are you just going to sit there and watch CNBC all day? It's entertainment. And so, you know, I just think about, I'm going to do it my way. And I at times I sort of come off of that mentality where, you know, I think, okay, I'm going to do it my way, and my way is correct, and my way is just, again, doing me. It's not, you know, my way or the highway sort of an attitude. It's just, you know, I just have this vision for life and what it's supposed to be like, and you know, and having conversations like this tonight just sort of remind me, you know, as I'm sort of helping someone think through the rest of their life from a planning perspective, and sort of teaching them some of the things that I've learned over the years from massive amounts of research, and pushed so hard and studied so much to get to the point to where I could leave the office at 3 p.m. on a Wednesday and come home and sort of polish a car, and then make more relationships with people all over the world. I know this is right, and maybe I'm getting all sentimental on you because it's, you know, it's 10 o'clock on a Wednesday, and I shouldn't be out here, but I really want to get the car done so I can go drive the thing. But I want to do it right. I don't want to do it halfway, and so sometimes you need to make those sacrifices. And so I think the message is that, you know, if you're young or you're aspiring to sort of create some vision of your life, it's not easy. You have to push. It doesn't have to suck, but it's not all going to be, you know, all going to be perfect. And so, you know, when you watch a video like this and you call me stupid or something, I just want to come and punch you in the face. Just know that if you're 5'8" and 18 years old, you don't want to see me in a back alley, because it's just ridiculous. I can't stand that stuff, and I guess it sort of comes with the territory. But guess what? I'm not going to let that discourage me. I'm going to keep pushing. So I'm just sitting here. I'm tired. I ran 6 miles and did a bunch of freaking burpees. I hate doing burpees. And I'm hungry because I'm on this program, and then I read a few comments on YouTube, and I just want to reach to the computer and kill some people for being just ridiculous. So, and the thing that gets me even more is when people comment about, well, you don't spend any time with your family, you suck, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? Screw you. I normally don't say that, but I'm saying it right now. Since I'm on a rant here this evening, don't tell me what to do. Maybe it's new people, but when you make stupid comments, like, you really think I haven't thought through that stuff? I mean, have you not watched like 5 minutes of a video to realize that I'm not stupid? I may not be the smartest dude in the world, but I don't tell you what to do, and I'm making a freaking video, and I can say whatever I want. So don't tell me what to do. I can't stand that crap. No, you should do this. No, how about make a suggestion? Hey, Matt, maybe you haven't thought of this. And also think through, even when you're telling me maybe you haven't thought of this, because there's a pretty good chance that I have. So think it through for a second before you comment something stupid. Because what's happening is, now that there's the people who are sort of following my stuff, I'm trying to respond to the useful stuff. And maybe I'll just start deleting all the stupidity. If you're dumb and you don't type in a full sentence, then maybe I'm just going to delete it. Call it North Korea, like some other idiot did. But guess what? If you're stupid, you're stupid. And there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm going to bury these comments deep into this sort of polishing video, and deep into the episode 8 of however many 50 that I'm going to do for polishing this thing. But also, don't tell me to go drive the car. I want to go drive the car. I'm just trying to make it look good and do the right, dial it in properly. So don't tell me I'm taking too much time cleaning it. You're just lazy. So anyway, these are the things that I really think when I'm going through the comments. When you don't type in full sentence, I immediately, I'm sorry, I shouldn't think this, but I immediately believe that you're a lesser of a person. So it just means that you're lazy in everything you do in life. So type in full sentences. Even if you don't know how, try. Gosh, I'm really on a tirade tonight. Maybe I should cut this part out. Luckily, most of you guys, my guess is, are sort of shaking your head saying, it's about time you said some of this stuff. Some idiot was telling me to get a frickin' Skyline. I mean, come on. I'm going to buy a 25-year-old car? No, I'm not doing that. If I did, it would be like $150,000 because it would be, you know, a dialed-in right-hand drive, one of a kind. But even then, it's still 25 years old. That's just not my style. I'm not into that. Let's see. I really need to tape this. Oh, and for the second time, stop talking about all this Mustang cars and coffee crap. That has nothing to do with me. It's no different than, you know, people crashing their M3 or you know, being douche M3 drivers or whatever. It has nothing to do with me. Leave me out of it. So you always want to tape the, especially porous black trim like this, because you don't want to get it on there, because then it's just hard to get off, and sometimes it just doesn't come off. I'm going to have to spend a little time polishing this black trim. So I guess the basic theme of my current rant is that don't impart your laziness on me. You know, just because you're lazy doesn't mean that I'm neglecting my family. So just leave that out of the comments. Good to go. Perfect finish takes care of all this stuff. I don't know why these are linting all of a sudden. I guess they're getting kind of old. Let me get the hybrid in the side here. Actually, the long net's probably not going to reach. Yeah, it will. I just got to be careful. All right, so we got the mirror dialed. Oh, I got one for you. This one cracked me up. You know, some guy was saying that cutting the little, you know, the little sort of, I think the little nibs on the tires, they come from the molds. You know, so as they pour it in the sort of the rubber mold, I'm assuming, I haven't seen, you know, how it's made, tires. But I'm assuming that the tires are, you know, they're pulled out of the mold with those little nib things. Maybe one of you tire experts can correct me on this. But someone was saying that if you modify your tires, then the warranty is voided. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's insane. Because I cut the nibs off. First of all, I don't care. The tires are like $300. If there's a problem with the warranty, I mean, you just buy a new one, for gosh sakes. If they're going to deny your warranty, who freaking cares? I mean, maybe that's a douche rich guy's thing to say, but I mean, if that does happen, my gosh, just buy a new tire. And plus, I've never even heard of warranties on tires anyway. I mean, yes, they're warranted against like a bubble or something, some sort of defect. But if you go out and do burnouts, your tires aren't warranted. Oh gosh, where do you guys come up with some of this stuff? Again, because I'm finishing here, I'm going to do much bigger areas than normal. Yeah, no offense to you guys who love Skylines, but what part of my personality fits a Skyline? Oh, Lord. I'm in rare form tonight, fellas. This could end my channel if I keep talking. But, I mean, man, this paint is great. Really, really good. Like, maybe even the best paint I've ever worked on. Yeah, I think my Audi was probably better. But I didn't know as much as I know now. The orange peel is very, very good in comparison to orange peel. I mean, there's certainly peel in the car, but not nearly as much as even, certainly, M3s, silver M3s, have tons and tons of orange peel, silver M5, stuff like that. But man, it's looking. So let's swap out the pad. It's time. Again, every few panels, I'm going to go and grab a new pad. Esoteric was out of yellow, smaller pads, so I'm going to have to switch to white I want to switch to white anyway when I start doing the black shadow line trim on the rear deck. So let's prime it as usual. So let's talk about shorter versus longer videos. I get that there's a formula. There's a formula for like that every single person on YouTube follows. Everybody follows Casey Neistat and Roman Atwood and some of these other guys that make millions. Well, my guess is I don't have enough broad appeal to ever have millions of subscribers. So that's out of the realm of possibility, and I don't think I would even want that anyway. I guess never say never, right? But I don't want to release videos at a certain day, certain time. I'm just going to release it when I have it. I don't want to hold on to things. I just want to release it when it's done, and you guys watch it whenever you want to watch it. And if I get 5,000 less views or whatever, that's so be it. I just want to sort of put it up as soon as I got it. I mean, otherwise I'm going to sit on it and you guys don't get to watch it. I can tell you right frickin' now, and come back and pull this tape, but I'm not clickbaiting anything. I refuse to do that. All of my video titles are going to be pretty specific to whatever the heck I'm doing. And sometimes when I'm doing episodes, formats like this, where I've got 12 episodes of me dialing in the paint here, it's going to get a little boring and the titles get long and whatever. But I refuse to clickbait it. I'm not doing that. And so there's this very specific formula. I was actually listening to Nick Murray on that podcast, and he'd made mention of that, and that's the exact same thing. That I share the same same thoughts. Is that there's a simple formula to get as many viewers as possible, but I'm not interested in that. What I want viewers who who I want to go grab lunch with, or want to hang out with, or want to come over the house whenever you're in town, and I can trust you. Man, I keep saying this, but the paint is really good. This is why stereotypes are a waste of time. Is because a good car is a good car, a good paint is good paint. And I don't go on what my daddy told me 25 years ago. I'm just going to go on what's real. And there is zero detectable difference in quality of this car versus any other car that I have. And as far as just for walking around it, touching it, feeling it, driving it, that sort of thing. So I don't want to hear any of that crap. And I'm not a Mustang fanboy, certainly not. I can't even believe I own one. So, and I'm not an M3 fanboy either. Maybe I'm a GT3 fanboy, but there's no benefit to me defending this purchase. I don't have the need to defend what I bought. I don't have those insecurities. What I do want to do, or want to sort of just tell the truth. Here's the truth, here's the real. And the real is this thing's pretty freaking awesome. So this is where you really got to work the edge of the pad. Making sure it's still rotating, but we're getting both sides of the curve here. So I'll get it from this angle too. And then we flatten out the pad and finish it off. Detailing cart would be nice. Oh, maybe I should go grab that goofy detail belt that I bought. Detail helper belt. This kamikaze tape comes off so nicely. So what else can we talk about tonight to ensure that I lose more subscribers? More people who follow me. In other words, who else can I insult? Ah, crap. Sorry, guys. I'm approaching 11 now. I'm eating 1,800 calories a day to get back into athletic shape. So most of you guys, you only know Fatty Matty, not Athletic Matty. So Athletic Matty's coming back, and maybe Athletic Matty's a little bit more aggressive than Fatty Matty. So I guess I need to watch what I say. Oh, I like that. This is what I should do. I should polish cars and read stupid comments from stupid people. You know, you really need to smile more in your videos. Shoot. Well, that makes me smile. You know, I'm polishing a car or, you know, clay barring or something like that. What do I need to smile about? I'm concentrating. Oh, you freaking morons. You know, I'm going to get this all out of my system on one obscure video. Somebody said something about the ride height on this thing versus the M3. I said, well, you've clearly never seen an M3 in person because the frickin' front end is like 4 feet off the ground. The rear is not too bad, but the front end is so high up. It's like a 4.5 finger gap. This is like 3. Someone did ask a pretty good question to say, well, if you like CarPro Reload so much, why don't you put them on the paint? Or not Reload, but Hydra 2. Well, because it doesn't look as good as what I'm about to put on. Getting really sloppy here. We're going to finish this panel. Call it a day. I'm going to do the black trim and then maybe I'll go in and edit for a little bit. Edit out all my comments that I just made. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to call it quits for the night. I think what we'll do, I'm going to go in for the night. It's 11:15 or so. I think what we'll do is I'll just sort of break this up into 2 polishing videos. The first one, this one's going to be pretty long. The second one will probably be a little shorter. We'll work on some of the trim pieces. But the car's getting close. I have to do the door, the other fender. I kind of went in a random order. The other side of the roof, and then we're done polishing, and then I'll start sort of working on the last steps. So we'll wipe it down with eraser, and then go back and you know, do some reload or reflex, ammo reflex. I want to do several coats of that. So I'll have to like maybe get up really early, and I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll see what the timing of it looks like. I just want to get the thing done so I can go out and drive the thing. I know there's a recall on some of the oil lines or something like that. I mean, I guess I'll get that done. Yeah, so the polishing process on this has been really, really simple. I really haven't had to do a whole heck of a lot of correcting. It's more just sort of jeweling out the paint, doing a one-step, getting everything perfect so that when I put tons of layers of protection on the thing, I'm not going to be locking in some goofy looking scratch or issues like that. But this is literally this is the best car I've ever gotten paint wise from the factory direct. Literally one tiny scratch, and I've been on this thing top to bottom, other than the black trim, which comes with the territory. If you breathe on that stuff, it scratches. Of course, the vinyl was junk, so that was really, really hard to deal with. And I could have polished it out. I know that I could have gone to less and less aggressive and tried all the tricks in the book of using water to mist on the pad and using some other sort of using like distilled water to wipe the things down with an even plusher sort of towel. So I could have figured something out and then get it sealed right away. But I just don't want to deal with that. One, I don't want to go to that level for vinyl, which I'm probably going to want to take off anyway. And two, I don't want to have to deal with that forever. So, I mean, every time I wash the car, I'm never going to be able to touch the vinyl. I mean, even with a layer of coating and stuff, I guess that would protect it to some extent. But eventually that wears off and you end up scratching the crap out of it. So I just didn't want to deal with that. I'm glad that I just sort of got that out of the way and finished it. Another thing to comment on, the rear deck spoiler, lots of people have made comments of how easy it is to get off. I've taken off probably 25 different deck spoilers in my car guy lifetime. This one, the problem with it, it's so thick, it's 3 inches thick, or wide, and there's 3M tape all around it, and then there are bolts that are holding it on, and so as you're pulling your string or your dental floss or your fishing line, as you're pulling it down, it hits the bolt because the bolt doesn't come out. At least I don't think it does. I mean, you take the nut off and it's sort of threaded this way. It's not as easy to come off as you think. And then I'd have to get all the tape off and then redo the tape, which will take hours and hours and hours. So I think I got the stripe sort of peeled back, and I can just leave it, and you can't see any of the little bit of striping that's still under it. Anyway, so this is polishing video 1, episode whatever, 8 or 9. We're getting deep into this. We still have a lot to do. We've got the trim, we've got the windows, we've got the interior. I got to treat the tires. I've got to treat all the trim. So this is going to continue. So the car's not getting driven anytime soon. Hopefully by the time I get it ready to go, we'll have all of the recall stuff figured out so I can just go get it fixed. So thanks for watching. I know this is a little different video, me doing it late at night and cranky on you guys. I hope you don't take any offense to this stuff. And I think that's the key theme is that, maybe I shouldn't take offense to some of the stuff. So I'm asking you not to take offense to things, and here I am taking offense to comments. But anyway, hopefully you sort of long-time viewers who watch the stuff will get a kick out of me getting a little cranky because I'm hungry and tired. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next episodes. What happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor.